I watch y'all coming here for years, cause you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You gonna pick that phone up one day, and that girl gonna be done dumped you, and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Cause ain't nothing you can do about it. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. Gun crime, max time.
We Tennesseans all have a choice to make in our fight against COVID-19.
I choose to enjoy live music.
I choose to cheer on my team.
I choose to go out.
I choose to stay healthy.
I choose to celebrate with my family.
The choice is simple. Choose to live your life and choose to live responsibly. Face it, masks fight COVID-19.
It's not about challenging times
or new normals.
It's about staying true to what matters most.
And we're more committed than ever to your health.
Your safety has always been our top priority.
Times may have changed,
but they haven't changed who we are.
We're here for you every single day.
This pandemic has hit us hard, but Tennesseans don't stay down for long. We're known for our resilience, and we refuse to back down from a challenge. This challenge is no different. You might be out of work, but there's an opportunity waiting for you. We need you to roll up your sleeves and join our workforce. Right now, thousands of jobs are ready to be filled. Find them at jobsfortn.gov. Let's get to work, Tennessee.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour. It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try.
There aren't any cops around. I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to get off, okay? You are right now?
And good evening and welcome to Talk Back Live in the afternoon. And it is now 7:19, 19 minutes past the hour, 7 o'clock Central Time.
Yes, sir.
And a very pleasant good evening to you on a Saturday evening. And I tell you what, we're happy and glad to be with you today. And it is now 75 degrees under a mostly clear sky. A beautiful day to start your evening.
Beautiful
your night. Yes, it is a beautiful evening. And you're looking in our background there, you can see a picture of the Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium.
Yes, sir.
Where the Tigers played today. And we're going to get into Tiger Talk in just a moment. And I tell you what, phone lines are open, 901-213-6020. Again, 901-213-6020. And we're going to talk about that game. And we're going to do some scores from around the nation and college football as well and talk about that. And also coming up after the college football talk, we'll be talking Tennessee Volunteers. Well, we got people that are across the state that are watching the Tennessee Volunteers and
yeah, and as a matter of fact, that's in the college football talk.
Yes, yes, indeed. And so they're playing down in the swamp. We'll talk about that a little bit later and see how much they're going to get beat or are they?
Yeah,
we'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. Also, NFL talk. National Football League. We'll talk about what's coming up tomorrow and scores, your predictions and our predictions on who's going to play and who do you think will win tomorrow in these particular games. You're welcome to call us on your predictions as well when we get to the NFL talk. That's coming up in the show, and all of that and more coming up in our sports talk today.
Yeah. Good evening, y'all. I see a lot of people coming in. Robert Lee, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, Robert.
He says, please don't talk about them Cowboys, LOL. What's up, Frankie in the building? How you doing this evening? Leon in the building, fresh off of his appearance in the Liberty Bowl as well.
Yeah, Leon's welcome. You know, all of you are welcome to call us about your opinion and your if you went to the game today here in Memphis, your opinion on what the game was all about.
And shout out to Leon. I got his picture up on the screen there.
Yeah,
that was his view of the game today.
A good crowd there.
Yeah, he said he just got back from the game, and that was his view, of course. So. Good crowd for a game, especially against Texas San Antonio. Unfortunately, they saw what they saw, but we're going to get into that shortly too. So, man.
All right. And we're going to talk about that and all the other things we talk about and more coming up in just a little bit. Let's get into now. Let's go to
college football.
NCAA football talk. Let's go. All right, and we're now into NCAA college football talk and across the nation on what went on today. And we'll give the scores that we do have, and some games are still going on as we speak.
Yes, sir.
And, we're going to try to cover or give you the score of what's going on with those games around the country.
Yes, sir. And as Bob said, man, a lot of stuff going on as we speak. A lot of stuff's already happened around the nation, and as you can see, we got some of the scoreboard up. It's got some of the games that are going on now and also games that did happen as well, kind of going back a little bit to some of the games that already took place. You see right here, you got Georgia destroyed Vanderbilt 62-0 in the SEC matchup, if you want to call it that, in Nashville, by the way. Another game, number 5, and y'all can see it there. I was just scrolling through. Number 5, Iowa. Took on Colorado State 24-14 as I continue to scroll through the top 25 here. Just, some of the main matchups that went down today. Penn State beat Villanova 38-17. I know there's a little bit of a delay on yours, and some of the people watching probably as well. Texas A&M and Arkansas is a huge rivalry that took place in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium this weekend. So it's a huge crowd. Number 7 Texas A&M taking on number 16th ranked Arkansas. And Arkansas.
Did you give the score on that Arkansas Texas? It's 20-10.
And that's actually what I literally was just getting into the score. I was just letting people set the scene and all that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so there you go. 20-10. That game is over. That happened earlier. 20-10, Arkansas over Texas A&M. Of course, a big rivalry there. And Arkansas is 4-0. I found out for the first time in years. I believe it was 2008. First time they're 4-0. So that's some history there. Clemson,
Arkansas,
Clemson goes down in a huge upset. I did not see that game, but the 9th ranked Clemson Tigers, man, go down to unranked North Carolina State.
Wow, that's a big one. You know, Clemson is normally on top every year.
Yeah,
and they are this year.
Expected to be here.
Yeah, for them to go down today like that, you know, there are some upsets going on around the league as we speak.
Yeah,
in Tennessee. At the Swamp down in Gainesville, Florida, the Tennessee Volunteers, last count, were leading the Florida Gators 14-10.
Yeah, and there it is
that
right
is
there.
Not expected at all.
Not at all, Matt. Yeah, like you said, they're in the Swamp. So, you know, as you all know, Florida has been dominating that series, really going back to even back when Tennessee was really good.
Yeah.
Florida was still winning, but the games were more competitive. But now, they've been blowouts, but man, Florida coming fresh off of coming a yard short of potentially beating Alabama last week.
Could this be one of those big letdowns, Josh, after playing so hard one week and then come back the next week? And it could be a big letdown. This one of those games that were not expected. Or did this same thing happen, which happens most of the time with some of these teams? They go in and they relax in the game, knowing that, hey, Tennessee is not that good this season. We're going to go in. This is going to be a relaxed, easy game for us, and you know, and we don't have to work as hard. And then, you know, Tennessee, you know, if I was Florida, I would have never went into this game that way, knowing that every year this is always a rivalry, and that irregardless of how bad the other team is, they're going to play each other their best when they meet in their games. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens here later on, and hopefully they'll. Well, we'll see if they rebound. I'm not gonna say hopefully. I told Sergeant Chris Richardson. He said, "Don't jinx me." I said, "I'm not gonna jinx you."
Yeah. In case y'all don't know, he's a huge Vols fan.
Yeah, Tennessee. He's a Tennessee Highway Patrolman. He's a big Vol fan. And
now, as we just talked, Florida just scored a touchdown.
So, oh my goodness.
It is 17-14.
Yeah, he's listening. Okay. 17-14 now. Florida has taken the lead over Tennessee. And this may be one of those games that may go back and forth, Josh. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see, man. But very interesting. I think Tennessee ought to, you know, just consider that a win almost the way they've been struggling lately. That you're even competitive. But Greg, looking at the comment here, he said Clemson is the number 9 team in the country. He said, well, they were. Anyway, after this week, you expect that to drop.
Yeah.
Pretty major. So,
well, it all depends. We'll just have to see what the what it's going to be like.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So they're definitely going to drop, though. There's no doubt. Just depends on how far.
Yeah.
No doubt, man. So those some of the games. There's some more I can go through here that happened earlier today. Matter of fact, a lot that are going on right now. In the country, you got Nebraska and Michigan State. Nebraska has not been good, and I don't know how long.
Oh man!
But
you know, and back in the day, the Cornhuskers of Nebraska used to be one of the major teams in college football.
Yeah,
it hadn't been that way in a while.
Now, Scott Frost, former UCF coach, took over several years ago. He left UCF. Which was thriving when he was there. Central Florida, which you may remember, is in the conference with Memphis, the AAC.
Right.
And his last game, I'll never forget, was against the Tigers in the AAC title game. And they beat Memphis that year, and that was Riley Ferguson, Anthony Miller. And then he went to Nebraska, took that job for bigger and better pastures. But it doesn't look like the grass is as green as he thought.
Yeah.
So we have a coach that was here that seemingly did the same thing, and Mike Norvell. And we'll probably get to that a little later, too.
Yeah.
Because I think they lost today again.
Oh, come on. Not again.
Yeah. So,
he's out of here. I mean, out of there. He's out of there. So it's one of those things. But I don't know if I should talk too harshly about Norvell because people. We had some people that jumped on us, man. You shouldn't have talked about it. Shouldn't dog. We're not. This is sports talk. I mean, we're just having fun, and folks don't get it that way. Don't get it twisted that we're dogging anybody. That's not our intention. That's not what this is about. We're on here to inform, and we just have fun and go with it. So I mean, people are so easy to get offended these days about nothing. This is just fun. But at any rate, Norvell, he's out of there.
Yeah, man, you can't do that. I think they expected a little bit better this year, but I know what's.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, I mean, you can't paint lipstick on that pig, to use a super old expression. No doubt. So.
Yeah, and Alabama didn't play around today.
Yeah, and that's only in the second quarter.
Second quarter, yeah.
So 28 to
nothing.
But as we have just experienced, that doesn't mean the game is over.
Well, it doesn't.
Look at the Liberty Bowl and what happened to us.
Oh, that's different. You're talking about Alabama.
I mean, we're in Memphis.
Yes, absolutely.
we're in Memphis.
There's no Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, can you compare? Like, look at Texas, San Antonio. Now, if you want to, do you want to go to that now?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go to that game. So,
all right, let's go. We're going to talk about Tiger football. Here we go.
All right. Well, there you go. Let's get into it.
Here we go. All right, and welcome to Tiger Talk and Tiger Football. Today, the University of Memphis Tiger football team hit the field here in Memphis. And they took on, Texas San Antonio?
Yes, sir.
What's this a team, folks, that the Tigers were supposed to beat? Both teams came in today at 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did we take this for granted? Did the Tigers take this game for granted? You can't take any team for granted when they come in 3-0. I don't care where they're from. And this is I don't know what happened today, but the Tigers came out in the first quarter. I mean, they were loaded and blasting with all barrels. I mean, everything they did and put their hands to, I mean, it turned to gold.
Yeah, you're right.
They come out 21-0 in the first quarter, and then in the second quarter, everything changed, it seemed like.
Yeah, because like you said, 21-0 first quarter. They come out, another touchdown, make it 28-7, because Texas San Antonio responded. Memphis came back and responded again, and you think, okay, we got this.
Now, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the second quarter, it seemed like to me that this San Antonio, Texas, San Antonio team, they came out in the second quarter, man. It looked like they were doing anything they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And the Tigers could not stop them. What happened there? Were the Tigers out of air? Were they out of breath? Were they out of gas? Or after how they performed in the first quarter? I mean, it just seemed like they could not get it together. And Texas San Antonio, man, they were blowing and they were just getting the yards that they wanted to get. And they put up the score that they wanted to. I mean, things were just going their way. What happened to the Tigers?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, like you said, that's a good question. And if y'all want to answer, or if you have an answer, you can definitely hit us up. If you want, the number's on the screen. I hadn't put it up on the screen in a minute.
Yeah,
there it is.
901-213-6020. 901-213-6020. There, go across the bottom of the screen.
Yes, sir.
And you can leave your comments. Well, what happened?
Yeah, so just like you said. So what do you think happened in this game? A lot of people, I was looking at social media, even myself, right? I put out the picture of how I felt after the game of a guy looking stunned. And, I was shocked, man. But here's the thing. I thought about it after the game and all of this. We talked about going in. And it was one of the things, if you looked at social media and you did any research on the game beforehand. This is not a typical team. You think of Texas San Antonio, you think bum. You think slaw, as we say in Memphis, right? You think, okay, this should be easy work for the Tigers. And just real quick, though, not to talk too much, but I do think that they should have beat them. They should have beaten them, but this is a good team. They're better than they look.
Yeah.
They're better than you think. And I don't know if I can say the Tigers underestimated them, but they got smacked in the mouth for 3 quarters after they smacked Texas San Antonio in the mouth for 1 quarter.
1 quarter. Now, there was a rumor or word that at halftime that coach Silverfield went in on the Tiger football team.
Yeah.
And he didn't have some precious, generous, nice words to say to his team.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know, but
yeah, that
I mean,
you just said it. Yeah.
I mean, the words that you say, if you can jump on your team and you need to, but is there a problem with coaching? Is there a problem with coaching? With
this team?
They're 3-0. They come in today and they look good and all that kind of stuff come out there. But still, is there a problem with Coach Silverfield? Is he ready for this type of team? Is he ready for a head coach of college football? Today, and then some people were saying it was not the right plays that were called at the right time.
Yeah, Leon said
bad play calling. And all that kind of stuff was going on. What do you mean by bad play calling? I mean, how can you determine that? How can you tell? When you say that has to reflect back on the leadership of the team, Coach Silverfield and those guys, so
to all your questions. Now, I got up here, some of the stats here. You see Seth Hennigan went 15 for 25, 329 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Pretty good game overall. But the star of the game really wasn't a Tiger, but it was a road runner, which was the Texas San Antonio mascot. They're the road runners. And McCormick, the big running back for them, had a monster game, 42 carries. 40, just think about it, he carried the ball 42 times. You're talking about a workhorse.
Yeah.
That's a ton of carries. 184 yards and 3 touchdowns. And, after that first quarter, again, it seemed like, I don't know what happened, some type of switch flipped for Texas San Antonio. And they just said, we're going to run the ball. We're going to beat you up. We're going to beat you down at the line of scrimmage. And the Tigers, even the announcers, if you heard in the beginning of the game, they brought up Memphis is dominating the line of scrimmage. That's why they win the game.
Right.
Every time off the ball,
they
were
them back. Defensively and offensively.
Absolutely. Getting in the backfield. Attacking the running back before he hits the line of scrimmage. Same with the quarterback. Didn't let him get a rhythm really the whole game. But it seemed like after that, something happened. I don't know if it was fatigue or what, or the game plan changed, or they didn't expect to get hit in the mouth, but something happened and it just wasn't the same for the rest of the game.
No, it wasn't.
They didn't score any points after the second quarter.
Yeah.
None.
That was, that was very disappointing.
Yeah.
And then later on, they finally scored another score, made it 28.
Yeah.
Man, only 1 more touchdown after all that action in the first quarter. That is not good, and that doesn't look good at all.
Definitely. Looking at Greg says the play calling was very vanilla, but there were some seemingly glaring calls, no calls against Texas San Antonio defense that seemingly took Alvin Austin out of the game for the most part. And it's funny, right? I had just put on Twitter during the game. I think it was in the second quarter. I said, hey, Calvin Austin is unstoppable. I literally said that. And because he looked unstoppable. You saw the plays he was making, Bob. I know you watched it too. I mean, you saw the plays he was making.
Yeah.
At wide receiver, he's out there breaking the game open. Hennigan threw the ball down the field. He always seemed to be open and doing something. But after that, nothing. Did they figure something out? Yeah. Did they finally double team him or something? Whatever they did worked to the point where the Tigers offense just could not get a rhythm. Now, I don't know about the bad penalties. I mean, yeah, there was some, but it really didn't seem that glaring to me as far as a referee problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know about
now, did we have a fumble? In
there was a fumble late in the game.
Was it controversial? At one point, we thought it was controversial.
Mm-hmm.
But when the replay was played,
it was late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, when you took a closer look at and it was a fumble.
Yeah, Brandon Thomas, the running back.
Mm-hmm.
And what was so bad about it, they were driving right down the field.
Yeah.
That was a drive. I think Calvin Austin, they called a deep ball. Either him or Sam Dykes. Y'all may correct me if you remember. But most of that drive, Brandon Thomas, they hit the middle. Mm-hmm. He was gaining yards. They were getting deeper and deeper in the San Antonio territory. And then the big fumble, the most untimely of fumbles in the world. And, at first I didn't think it was, but Bob pointed it out that he did rip it out just before his behind hit the field. So,
yeah. At first, it didn't seem like it from one angle, but then right in the middle of it, when it was slowed down before he hit the field, you could see the ball in the middle. It was loose, and so it was a fumble. So that was a close call, and and hats off to the refs, man. Those guys have an eye that I mean,
Yeah, I'll give in this game. I'll give it to them.
Yeah, they, So, and then, some people say, hey, the ref didn't do good in this game, and all that kind of. And I think we're going to have that. And you have a right to say that. And there are some things that they do make that are controversial and that are wrong.
Yeah.
And we have a right to voice our opinion on those particular calls. But now, do you think that was the situation with this game? I don't believe so. I think Memphis just dropped the ball. Bad play calling. The coach, which is a junior high football coach.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, I'm not going to say it. But I don't think he's ready for head coaching a football college team like that.
He just beat the SEC team last week. Yeah. And this team could.
But I mean, everybody's beating Mississippi State.
No, I mean, LSU did. That was LSU.
Yeah.
You talking about the Louisiana State Tigers.
Yeah.
And I know they're not as good as they were, but still, that's LSU. But look, here's the thing. To me, and just my opinion, I think Texas San Antonio would beat Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever said. I think Texas San Antonio would beat Mississippi State.
Okay, all right. We'll go to the phone lines and see what somebody else had to say and their comments. Go to the phone lines and
Vincent.
To accept.
Vincent, welcome to the show. Good evening on a Saturday.
Hey, good evening, guys. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Doing great. How are you?
Man, I was a tough loss, but I'm really not mad or anything. I'm more or less disappointed. But one of the things I wanted to make a point, we got some really good freshmen in our quarterback, Seth Hennigan and Brandon Thomas.
Yeah.
I mean, they have exceeded all of my expectations, and I would like to say most of the expectations of Tiger fans. With that being said, though, freshmen are just that, freshmen. You have to take the good that they do along with the challenges that come as a result of depending on them.
Right.
And basically, they didn't really cost us the game by themselves. I think more of the critical penalties were more the issue. But the reality is, man, we were playing a team today. Check this out. They had 16 seniors who got a extra year due to COVID.
Oh man! Wow.
So they had 27. They had amongst their first and second teams, they had 27 seniors.
Man.
So basically, we were playing a very, very experienced mid-major team.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're dependent on the freshman quarterback to make all the reads and the check downs and all that kind of stuff, securing the ball, you're going to have those issues sometimes. And I equated this. I put a post on the Tiger basketball fan page. I said, you know what? Looking at this game today lets me know we need to probably temper our expectations for the basketball team, because if we're looking for Imani Bates and Jayla Duran to come from high school juniors to lead us to a national championship, that may not quite happen. I'm not saying that we won't win it, but if they're going to be they already penciled in as starters, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking at a lot of teams. You got other teams out there that's going to have COVID seniors who get an extra year, which would be the equivalent of 5th year or 6th year seniors, depending on if they got redshirted. So today we lost to an experienced team. Their offensive line was sort of like the Washington Redskins boss hogs. You remember those guys used to push guys around back when, well, Bob remember Josh wasn't born, but John Riggins, you remember John Riggins? You remember John Riggins, Bob? I don't know if you remember him or not, but the Redskins used to have, man, these 330 and 40-pound linemen that used to just wear you down, man, and that's what happened today.
Well, so now we want to, blame 3 points on inexperience.
Well, I'm just saying they made 2 costly turnovers at the time, but they're freshmen. I mean, again, Seth Hennigan threw for over 300-something yards. If somebody had told you that Seth Hennigan would, out of his first 3 or 4 games, he would have at least, 2 or 3 games with over 300 yards, you wouldn't have believed that at the beginning of the year. A true freshman, you wouldn't have believed that. You would have thought that. If somebody had told you Brandon Thomas would be the 2nd leading rusher in the nation going into his 4th game, you wouldn't have thought that. So, I mean, they have accomplished a whole lot, but I'm just saying, along with those accomplishments, you get those critical errors sometimes. But I think the major culprit is we got up on them 21-0, and we thought the game was over. And we basically didn't really play with the fire that I thought we should have played. And I think some of those penalties, I tell you, that biggest penalty to me was that one where I think number 9 caught a pass and went down the sideline, got down to like the 2-yard line. And they called that play back. And I think right after that, Brandon Thomas fumbled.
Right after.
I think that was a big play too.
Man, I forgot about that. Man, that was a play of the game because that was almost a touchdown.
It was.
He was out at the 2, and then Thomas, like you said, fumbled. It's one of those things. But I hope, and then one thing I did, like the coaching staff, they went over to Brandon Thomas because he looked very
upset.
Yeah, very upset at himself, and they were, kind of hitting him in the chest, say, "Hey, get your head up, man, get your head up."
But
because he's going to be great.
They're going to have to do something next week with those linemen, though. As far as blocking, you just can't grab a hold of somebody and then push him and grab him and pull him down in front of him.
He tackled the guy.
You just can't do that type of thing. And then a couple of plays were, there were some plays that were called back because of the lineman holding and that type of thing. Man, that one big play, that pass you were talking about down to the 2-yard line was brought back because of a holding penalty. That could have been a touchdown. That could have been a points on the board for the Tigers.
Yeah, and so I'm just saying, like I said, with Brandon and Seth Hennigan, they are great. I mean, Seth is looking more and more like Brady White every game. And we got Calvin Austin. I don't know why we didn't try to get the ball in his hands more, but see, as the season go on, he's going to be double and triple team. We may as well get ready for that. So we're going to have to come up with some innovative ways to use. I mean, we used Sean Dykes today, and you saw how effective he was, but we need a 3rd receiver. We need somebody else to kind of open up the lanes just a little bit more to get the full use out of Calvin Austin. I mean, he's been great, phenomenal, but you need that 3rd receiver to kind of open it up just a little bit more. Otherwise, he's going to be double teamed a lot, and that's what was happening today.
Do they have that 3rd receiver or person that you know of that they need to play?
That's a good question because if you look at it, you talk about Gabe. I think Gabe Rogers was the guy that almost had the touchdown late. I like him. I like the other receiver. His name escapes me right now, but nobody has.
His name is some Ivory.
Yeah, Ivory. Yeah.
Ivory. We lost Taj Washington. He's starting for USC. Of course, his coach got fired, but I know he probably wish he had stayed now. But basically, that's that. But listen, man, I'm gonna get off and let somebody else talk. Because I like conversation, so I'm gonna go get off. And go Titans tomorrow, Josh.
Yeah, all day. All day.
You have been surprising me past few shows that you come on. I mean, you normally would come on and you would just hog the show, but lately you have been saying I'm going to get off and not be on that long. You're gonna let somebody else call in and talk. I appreciate that. I mean, you have been really a gentleman.
Well, see, the Bible said, "Those who call upon the name of the Lord shall be delivered." So maybe I got
delivered. Good one.
Oh, man.
Okay, man. Let me get off. So Josh, he holding me on there. I'm trying to leave you. He holding me on the line. Okay.
Vincent,
I'll
thanks
talk
for
to
the
you.
call.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay. Oh my goodness. 901-213-6020 if you'd like to call and give us your opinion. Yeah.
And he brought up a good point about the freshmen, man. They're going to be fine. And especially when you got them in major roles. You know, we got the phone lines ringing. Let's go.
All right, let's go to the phone line.
Call from
Bugman.
Bugman, welcome to the show. Good evening on a Saturday.
What up, man?
Good evening, fellas. How y'all doing?
Doing great, man. Darn great. Darn great.
Well, all right. Well, look, man, I'm totally disgusted. I've been spitting for about an hour.
Oh, come on, Greg.
Oh, hey, and once again, to clarify, you did say spitting.
Spitting.
So, yeah, I said spit.
Yes.
Now, the other word, I might be doing that later on.
Whoa.
It's a disgusting day.
With a P, yes. Yeah.
So, you know, when I played ball, right, there was this thing we used to do, right? If you could get away with it, right? Whatever it was, whether it was holding, pass interference, whatever it was, if you could, you know, there are so many calls in a game that go uncalled, right?
Right.
So if you could do it. And what that does, that demoralizes your opponent, right?
Yeah.
It demoralizes it because if they can't get the calls, you know, one thing I heard Jarvis, because I would listen to the radio feed mostly, right? So then I tapped into the app after about midway through the third. I tapped into the app, so I was kind of toggling back and forth.
Right.
One thing Jarvis and Dave Lotion were saying throughout the game was that Calvin Austin is good for at least 2 to 3 holding or pass interference calls against the other team's defense, right? To my knowledge, I think he only got 1 of those calls today.
Yeah.
Now, what made me start watching the app, because I'm usually content, you know, to just listen to the radio feed, because I enjoy Dave Lotion and Jarvis Greer. I enjoy listening to them, right?
I'm glad somebody did.
But what made me start looking at the app was some of the apparent no calls for defensive holding. So I started looking through the app, right? And so I'm looking at the app, and man, there was 2 really obvious ones, right? Where the jersey was pulled and everything, you know.
Wow.
So, and I think that may have gotten to the head. And also, you know, they were that team after the second quarter, you know, they were determined not to let Calvin Austin beat them.
Yeah,
they were pretty much determined, you know, because you have to account for that dude. You know. So, you know, and you took him out of the equation, and everything else is pretty much underneath, right? Nobody else has any speed underneath to beat, you know, DBs if they catch it on a slant or a post. You know, they're not going to beat those DBs down the field. I mean, our team just doesn't have that much speed other than Calvin Austin.
Yeah,
it's just the reality of it.
Right.
So, you know, it's a disgusting thing, man, you know, because, I mean, man, you just cannot go up 21-0 in the first quarter and get outscored 31-7 the rest of the way. You just that cannot happen, man. But it did.
Definitely.
But it did happen, you know.
It's one
so,
of the things.
You know,
now, real quick. Now, you brought up to me about Silverfield. Now, kind of talk about his demeanor at halftime, because that's what I'm curious.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man, look, bro, he was livid.
I never heard him angry, so that's what got me.
He was livid at halftime, man. Wow. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. You know, I guess it didn't work though. But
I guess it didn't. You know,
they got worse.
You know, it might have been different had they had the ball first in the second half.
Yeah,
it might have been different. I don't know. You know, I don't know. All I know is, you know, I kind of thought it was going to be one of those games like a basketball game where a team is down 25 going into the midway through the third quarter or in the first half or the second half in college, and they bring it back, but they just don't have enough, you know, to take the lead.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what I thought was going to happen with you know, UTSA. I thought they would, get close, and then we would just run off and hide with it, just take the air out of the ball and just finish the game. And then when they tied it up, I still wasn't really worried when they tied it up, though. And because I thought, okay, we'll figure out this, and we'll probably score 10 points, once they tied it up. But man, it just got uglier and uglier.
Yeah, I knew it was, Greg. When they tied it up, I said, this doesn't feel good.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I was jumping the gun, but I felt it about it too. After the first touchdown, they scored, and then when they stopped Memphis, when Memphis came back, it was a 3rd and 1. They tried that hurry up, run up the middle with Thomas. They stopped it, and when I saw a dude on defense throwing his arms and screaming, "Get off the field!" to the Tigers, I'm like,
the momentum had drastically changed.
Big Mo.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Tigers never had the momentum after the first quarter. They just never did. Even when we scored that one touchdown in the third, we never had the momentum again. Never did. And San Antonio, I mean, they just kept pressing. They kept pressing. They kept pressing. And it was, I don't know, man. It's just disgusting, man, because it kind of makes you wonder because, you go back and look at the first quarter, all the touchdowns we get, except for the Kevin Austin touchdown, all of them were the result of penalty.
Yep. Exactly.
Against San Antonio. It was all it was a help by penalty. So did we really have the offensive, punch to be 21, to be up 21-0?
Well,
I don't think we did.
No, I'm going to tell you another reason why is because when they got those penalties for holding, that's the sign of a team that is exhausted.
They're exhausted and desperate.
Yeah, they're exhausted. They're desperate, and the coach has been training them. Now, I'm going to tell you, coaches do tell you this sometimes, and I know as a fact. They say, "Hey, if the person's beating you, somehow get into them, and grab them inside where the ref can't see you and hold that joker."
Well, and that's what I was kind of saying in the beginning of my call. Because they tell you, man, you look, don't get beat.
Yeah.
Try not to make it obvious.
Yeah, but that's what they were doing. They were making it too obvious, though, Greg.
Well, at some point in time, they're going to see something, especially just like you said, when the defense gets tired, you can't make that step like you want to, so you got to reach out and grab.
But Greg, when you got offensive linemen, man, blocking you down, they got their hands right on your back, and they just grabbing you and just pushing. You see it, man. I mean,
well, it was a tackle. The play y'all talking about was a tackle.
Wasn't trying to hide it at all, man. I mean, this guy.
But it happens.
But I can tell you this.
Yeah.
Man, hey, look, San Antonio has some big old dudes.
Yeah, look, they're bigger than you would think.
They offensive line average 315.
Average weight.
That's the average weight, and that's because just one dude, he's 20 pounds lighter than the rest.
Yeah. I don't know where they found these
some big old dudes, man.
Yeah.
And and the experience factor. I mean, because honestly, it never looked like they panicked either. San Antonio.
That's true.
It never looked like they were panicked.
Yeah.
They didn't get down because when you get down 21-0, a lot of times what you see is fighting on the sideline. Coaches, grabbing people by the face mask and cussing them out.
Personal fouls.
That never really happened. They didn't. They just kept. Hey, look, we got this, especially in the second quarter. Because they won the second quarter big time. I mean, even though we was up 21-0 in the first quarter, we didn't really win other than the score in the first quarter, because we got that, fumble recovery for 6. We had the one big play, for 6. But then, by and large, it was a struggle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a point there, right? Got a point.
It was a struggle, man. And the Tigers, I mean, they got the punch that I hoped that they would get in the first quarter, because my thing was when I was talking to my customers when I was working, they were like, man, Memphis got to come out and punch these dudes in the mouth.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking. And put them out their misery early, but we didn't put them out their misery because the worst thing that happened was no scoring in the second quarter. That is the worst thing that happened to Memphis because
no score.
By the end of the second quarter, going into halftime, San Antonio had all the momentum. Knew they was getting the ball going into the second half.
No score in the second quarter. No score in the third quarter. Finally, they scored in the fourth.
Yeah, it just was. I don't know, man. Go Tigers, go. I'm gonna cry a little bit tonight. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna cry a little bit tonight. I probably, they drove me to drinking, but I appreciated it.
Oh man, see, yeah, all right, it'll be all right, Greg. Don't cry too much, Greg. Don't. Just grab you a bottle of water and a pack of potato chips and something. Lay down or sit down, and then just look up to the ceiling a little bit and enjoy yourself the rest of the night. Or put on a.
That's a very interesting thing to do on Saturday.
Put on a Sanford and Son or something.
Now what I'm gonna do, Bob? I'm gonna grab me some Jack and Coke and
Wait
some
a minute.
skins.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab me a Jack and Coke, get me a bag of skins, and I think I'm gonna probably put on either John Wick or Born Identity. To get some fighting going on, and it's gonna make me feel better.
A whole lot of violence.
Hey, what?
Some violence. There you go, John. Some violence.
You know what? We got enough violence in Memphis, but look. I like the idea of a bag of skins and a Coke. Just the Coke, okay?
You ain't gonna hang with Jack.
Jack. What was it? Jack jumped over the candlestick.
What I do is this, Bob. I'm gonna do this, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get me a glass of ice. Pour me some Coke in there. I'm gonna go grab a bag of skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm gonna do though, I'm gonna grab that bottle of Jack too. Now I ain't gonna lie, but it's gonna be off to the side. It's gonna be in a different glass than the Coke.
Okay.
Well, that's very diplomatic of you.
Okay, all right. Hey.
Yeah, it's gonna be in a different glass. So I'm gonna keep everything separated, but I'm still gonna watch me some John Wick though.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch me some John Wick, and I'm gonna feel a whole lot better, and then I'm gonna, hopefully watch the Steelers lose tomorrow, and and then the Cowboys gonna win Monday night. So everything gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right.
See, you done jumped the gun.
Now that'll make it a terrible weekend.
you didn't only jump the gun. You stomped on the gun.
But look, man. Hey, I'm gonna jump off, man. Hopefully somebody else can get in and get a word in or two, man. But hey, I appreciate y'all taking my call.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, man.
Man.
All right, man.
We appreciate it. All right, 901-213-6020. Yeah.
And shout out to Isaac Simpson, said they just couldn't stop the run.
No, they couldn't.
I believe he was at the Liberty Bowl, in the press box with Tiger Sports Report, covering the game. So definitely, appreciate you watching, man. And
if he can call us,
if you want
to have you call us, man.
Yeah.
And tell us what you
got
think.
some time.
I think he already, he talks about things like he has a show on as well. He's on in the morning on 56.
No, that's Sane. He's on 56.
Sane, that's
but Isaac,
insane. Oh, Sane. I mean, but anyway, no, Isaac. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
but Isaac has a podcast. He can talk about that too.
Yeah, he's good at that. Yes, indeed, and he's been on your show as well, talking all kinds of stuff, man. And
absolutely,
we used to have him on, Isaac. 901-213-6020. What do you think about the Memphis Tigers game today? And did it disappoint you? I mean, come on.
Now
they waited to 2 seconds in the game. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Oh, man. Okay, let's answer this call and see if it's somebody. Isaac, welcome to the show. Good evening, man, on a Saturday.
Man, what's good, bro?
Yeah, man. How you guys doing, man?
Doing good. How about yourself, bro?
Man, doing all right, man. Other than this tough loss tonight, man. It's a tough one, man. But I try to tell people throughout the week this team was good, man, and I still thought the Tigers was going to win. But that's a good football team. Despite you look at the name UTSA, you don't think much about it. That's a really good football team.
It is, really is.
And it's funny. I saw your tweet. I think it was this morning. You warning people, hey, this is a good team. And even myself, I'm like, I know everybody's going to say that. Even though, and I did read about, McCormick, right? And he's a top running back and the team and the top offense and undefeated coming into the day. But you still think as, a fan, we got this. And the way that first quarter looked, I felt confident. And then, my teeth on the floor. So,
yeah, I mean,
what you think?
It didn't look good after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious you don't think that, man. Conference USA team, you're thinking, man, they go beat them up. I mean, they 3-0, but they're Conference USA. They not for real. But that team for real, man. Since McCormick, man, he was number 2 in the country in rushing last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a real deal. Like he could play anywhere. I mean, he's at UTSA, but he could play for a bigger conference team. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, man, I mean, it's tough. At least it's not a conference loss, so kind of all their goals are still in front of them. I mean, they can still end up in the AAC championship game, and I mean, there's opportunities there because if you look around the conference, I mean, Dylan Gabriel, quarterback, is out for UCF. Some of the teams that you thought were going to be good, like Temple and Tulsa, they haven't looked that good. So I mean, the opportunities are still there for them to do what they're going to do, but I mean, they just gotta bounce back, man. And today, man, they just couldn't stop the run. Early in the game, I thought they made an adjustment where they brought an extra blocker. And Memphis just never did make any adjustments. I mean, went conservative on the offense. I mean, there's a lot of coaching issues in tonight's game. I mean, they just didn't make any adjustment. Really vanilla play calling on offense. Third down.
That's
third and down. They running the football. I mean, I don't know, man.
That's what I was wanting to point out too, Isaac. Because I mean, was it really a coaching issue here with the way things were handled today?
And to let you know, Bob is not a Silverfield fan, so. This just
see, I am, but I mean, I can definitely question what there needs to be questions. And today they played, and they even said in the post-game press conference when we talked to them, they kind of said, I mean, they played the game like they felt like they won. They got a 21-0, and they just kind of went vanilla, like, oh well, we too cool for school. We just gonna coast to this win. And UTSA they just kept playing, man. And next thing you know, you're in a ball game, and then once you get to a ball game late in the game, and who knows what could happen, and kind of bit them, man. Had a lot of penalties. That big penalty on the Gabe Rogers catch.
Yes.
So that probably, if they had got that play and won and scored there, they probably go on to win the game. That was a big penalty. They called that back at the end of that drive, and man, got the ball again. Just continued to run the football. They just couldn't stop it, and I don't blame them, man. If a defense shows you they can't stop it, I'm gonna keep running until they prove they can stop it. And they just couldn't stop it all night.
There you go. Keep pounding that same thing until they stop it.
I mean, they treated.
I mean, they weren't doing anything special. They just run the ball right up the middle, man. They couldn't stop it.
Yeah, nothing creative or exotic. It was just the Derrick Henry system. Just pounded to
that. Throw that in there, though.
I had to. But. It's coming up. We're going to crush the Colts this weekend. Can't wait for that. But all that being said, and we ain't going to talk about the Eagles beating the Cowboys Monday. We ain't going to talk about all that.
Oh, man.
Look, I got to ask you this, though. All that aside, how do you feel about Hennigan and the passing game? Because he had 300-plus yards, and I really like him more and more as the season went on. I can't help but emphasize, I know this might be a play people forget, but that big, I think it was a third down where he stepped up and ran for that first down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this dude, his guts is growing. It's, to keep from being crude, but I'm like, man, he's got some. And I like that to see that in the freshman, because you know how critical we were of Brady White in his young years. And
I think this guy here is going to have probably everything the Tigers want to see out of him, and he's gonna develop. I think the running game. I think he's gonna develop better in his passing and all those other things. And I think it's gonna take a little time, and and it seems like he's getting bolder and bolder with it. He's gonna take some chances. He's gonna fail.
Yeah,
but I think in the long run, if he continues to push,
yes, sir,
he's gonna be that guy.
Let me throw this out before I kick it to you, Isaac. Now, the one thing that I talked about with Brady why I didn't like him early was he didn't take chances. He kind of played a little timid and scared. I don't think Hennigan is scared. I mean, I saw him throw in the triple coverage one play, and I'm kind of like, chill out a little bit. But I like that. I think he's way further along than a Brady was.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, I love him. I've asked him a couple times, like, where does he get this poise and confidence? Being a true freshman, because you usually don't see that. And even like in the media when he's talking, like he doesn't get rattled. Like even tonight when he came into the presser, he wasn't like you think a true freshman, especially after a big loss, that they might be kind of nervous. They have some questions. I mean, he's even keel, like same emotions no matter what's going on. And you can see same way on the field. I mean, he's going to make mistakes, true freshman. I mean, this kid was playing high school football last year. So, I mean, the fumbles, you saw a couple of turnovers today. That's going to happen. But he also makes plays. Like you talked about, he stepped in the pocket and made that play on third down. You saw that in the game against Mississippi State, too. I mean, he made some mistakes in that game, but there were times third down where he stepped up and made plays. And he's not scared to take chances, like you said. And Brady was kind of more of a game manager type of guy. I don't think he's going to be that. I mean, he's kind of a gunslinger, and it's kind of weird because coming in, he wasn't known as being a strong arm guy, but he's got surprised me with some of those throws he makes. He gets some air on it. I think he's going to be really good if he's playing this well and this confident in 4 games in as a true freshman. And imagine what he's going to be looking like 2 or 3 years from now.
No doubt. How do you feel about the receiving core? Do you think that's going to develop? Because we just had a caller on that was talking about, we need, somebody to kind of help Calvin and even Sean Dykes. I was glad to see him get involved. Today.
It's kind of weird because, I mean, you expect Javon Ivory to be that guy in his first game against Nichols. He had a big game, and he's kind of been MIA ever since. I mean, you don't even hear his name over the last couple of games. Gabe Rogers is another guy who just kind of came into the season being that third guy. Before then, he's just kind of known as a special team speed guy, so you don't expect him a lot out of him. But I think Javon Ivory has to be that guy. I mean, Sean Dykes has kind of emerged over the last couple of games. We know how special he is. But I think another receiver is going to have to step up. And it's crazy because you think by now teams would start double and putting all kind of guys on Calvin Austin, but he finds ways to get open, man. At speed, sometimes there's just no answer for that. But I do think they need another guy, and Javon Ivory needs to be that guy. We'll see what happens with him going forward. But the last few games, he's been kind of MIA. Like I'm trying to think back tonight. Like I don't even remember
him at all.
Him calling his name tonight.
Nope. Just the only time was the starting lineup, and that was about all I remember. Now Gabe, I don't know. What do you think about him? I know he had the one big play that was called back, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's just kind of a speed guy. Like I said, I mean, he's still kind of learning to play wide receiver because again, he was more of a special teams guy, so he's kind of a straight line guy. If he can get past the guy and get open, he can make a play, but he's not going to be a guy that's going to be running all over the field with different routes and stuff. I think he's still kind of learning. So again, I mean, Javon Ivory, big receiver with some speed. I mean, you think they may take advantage of that, especially when you have guys like Calvin and Gabe out there with that speed that would help him at times because guys have to account for them. So we'll see going forward, but I do think that's an issue. I mean, eventually you're not going to be able to just keep going to Austin for these 60, 70-yard passes. I mean, that's fantastic, and we know how special he is, but eventually teams are going to key in on that, and you have to find another receiver.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's still incredible to see a guy. He's so little, man. But
I know, man. But
that has nothing to do with his talent.
No, not at all. It's unbelievable.
You just don't. It's crazy because guys that size usually don't see it, man. You think of a guy his height, you're like, oh man, there's no way he's playing in the NFL. But I 100% think he's going to be playing on Sundays one day. And this Tiger team, just over the years, the skill position players. I mean, they just find guys graduate, leave, and they bring like you have Todd Washington leave, and you got guys emerging. Same thing at running back. When got a couple guys leave, they find another one. I think they found another one in Brandon Thomas. I mean, they just continue to find guys at the skill position, even at quarterback. I mean, they've had 3 straight, and I think they've got a 4th one here. So, I mean, I think things are all right. I mean, I know it's a tough loss. I know people are disappointed, but I don't think this team was never going to go undefeated this year. I mean, you got too many moving parts. You got some young guys, but I think everything is still in front of them. They haven't lost a conference game, haven't played a conference game yet. Starts next week. So until you lose a conference game, man, all your goals are still there in front of you.
Definitely, man. So be interesting to see how it is going forward. And one thing I do love is this running game. I mean, you just got hammers on top of hammers on top of hammers. It's not a bunch of. It's not a real thunder and lightning. It's just thunder, and then you got man, who's the third guy? Because I know you got Clark and you got Thomas.
Asa Martin and Mark Avery-Weaver.
Yeah, those 4.
Other 2 guys.
You got 4 hammers, so that's just.
And then Keelan Watkins hadn't even played yet. He's been hurt.
Yeah.
He's expected to be back. Sometimes, I mean, they got a stable of running backs, man, that they can use. And you talk about that power with Brandon Thomas, and then got Dree Clark coming in behind him. Started a touchdown early in the first quarter. I mean, he's just running over folks out like a bulldozer.
Love it, man. So we'll see, man. But definitely, I don't think it's anything to panic about. It's just the way it happened, man. It's just painful.
Yeah, I mean, you up 21-0, man. It's tough, and it just felt like they just methodically got back in the game. And Memphis, after what they scored in the second, didn't score in the second or third quarter, finally got back on the board in the fourth. But I mean, you just can't go on those type of droughts, especially with the firepower that they have. Yeah. One thing that they really struggle with this season is time of possession. Like, they don't have the ball like a lot. I mean, they have a lot of
quick.
They even have a lot of penalties where they have quick drives. They either score quick or they go 3 and out, and it's kind of no in between with them. They got to sometimes kind of extend some of these drives to take pressure off their defense. I think they put a lot of pressure on their defense. Defense seems to always be on the field, and that's just not a good thing, especially when you have some questions on your defense. So It's going to be interesting going forward, man. They play at Temple next week. I think that's a game that they should win. I mean, Temple is really struggling. I mean, they got to win today against Wagner, but that's a game that they should go to Philadelphia and win.
Yeah, they beat DeJuan Wagner's school down there. But you know, it's one of the things. But we'll see going forward, man. It's going to be interesting. And it almost reminds me, Norvell's teams had that problem. I mean, they would score so quick, big plays all the time, and you know, the defense would never get off the field. You know, but we'll see, man. But now, real quick, because we're going to talk about this too. I know Bob wants to bring it up. How you feel about Norvell? Now they lost again today.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that is, you know, now I know, you know, we had the video kind of making fun of him crying. It looked like he was crying at one of the press conferences there. But all of that being said, it's not looking good for old Norvey. How you feeling about that whole thing?
Yeah, man, he's in a bad spot, man, because I mean, it's not gonna get any easier. The game today was the one where I was like, okay, man, he might be able to pull that one out. You lose to Louisville. They got Syracuse coming in next week, who Syracuse is better than Louisville. Yep. Then you're at North Carolina, and you know you're not winning that one. So, I mean, it's looking rough, man. And the thing about it is, his buyout is so much, like, I don't know if they can fire him. I mean, I was talking to some Florida State fans earlier, and they're like, man, we might be stuck with him for another 2 years. But at Florida State, man, I don't know. He might be looking at 0-6, 0-7, and who knows, man. And you can't do that. You can't do that at Florida State, man. I don't know what they're going to do. I think at some point, the buyout is going to be, they're just gonna do it, because I mean, Florida State, that's a proud program. They're not going 0-9, 0-10, and
they're
the coach. That's just not.
They're not gonna sit there and not do nothing. They're not just gonna do that.
I mean, look what they did to Willie Taggart. You know, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, man. They did with the Taggart bad, man. And a lot of people kind of bringing that comparison in to how people aren't on Norvell the way they were on Taggart, and so we'll see how that plays out. But again, they're not just gonna keep on losing. I mean, you lose to Jacksonville State. I mean, at Florida State, that just can't happen, man.
No, not at all. It's gonna be rough. But that's my man Isaac, man. Hey, tell folks where they can follow you, man, and your podcast also, because you've been having some bangers, man, some big guests and stuff.
Yeah, man. You can follow me on Twitter at Isaac_Rivals, ISAAC_Rivals there, and you can check out the Tigers Den podcast, man. It's up on Spotify, iTunes, and TuneIn radio app every Thursday, man. So check that out. Also, Cal, you know the Cowboys gonna win on Monday night, man. Jalen Hurts ain't got nothing, man. You know what's gonna happen.
Hey, you were doing good. You were doing good till you got.
You know I had to get that in there, man.
Look, it's always good having you on. I think it's the first time we had you on with all of us. Here with Bob here in the man.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, since we were talking fall off the bone back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Fall off the bone, man. Real. Bob's Country Barbecue.
Hey, there you go.
And SGWA, only on the OGs, man.
Oh, man,
yeah. Those are days, man.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Definitely, brother. But appreciate you calling and watching, man.
Man, for sure, man. Love talking with you guys, man. Talk to you later.
Right, yes, brother. Sir. Have a good one. All right. That's Isaac Simpson, and always good to hear from him and his commentary on what went on at the Tiger game today. 31-28, Tigers are were losing. They all lost the game today.
Yes, sir.
31-28, and what are they going to do next week, Josh?
That is a good
like
question.
He said, it's not going to get any easier.
No, they go at Temple. The Tigers go at Temple next week. So back on the road, and it's been a while since they've been on the road. I think 2 or 3 straight games at home. So they're going back on the road for the first time since the Arkansas State game, which we know that the drama of that game was as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man. Whenever you go on the road, that is a test for your team and everything else, no matter who you're playing. So hopefully they can bounce back. And be who they think
they need to. They really need to.
Greg says, I don't know if you see the comment there, Norvell ain't going to make it through this season. He says he may be fired tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I should say. I don't know if they can fire him, but they can make it difficult for him to stay.
Yeah,
they can just buy him out. And I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. Let's put it this way, Greg. I think you're right.
Yeah,
he's going to be out of there. He may just sleep it off tonight and have a dream or something, and then wake up and and say, "Hey, we're out of here. We're just." And just may feel, guilty, about the program.
You think he'll just quit?
Just leave and say, hey, put his resume in somewhere else and start over again at a lower school or something, and just start over again and do well at that other school. Then, some higher school would think, okay, he's recovered now. Let's bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
Not back to Memphis, please. But
look, people would welcome him with open arms in Memphis.
Yeah.
And look, I will say this.
After what he did, I don't think so.
Well, the way he left,
he left and just went on to Florida, and then just thought that was.
But he was, and
I greener pastures.
I gave him credit for this at the time, just so I could be consistent. I like the way he left.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the way he left better than the way Fuente left.
Yeah,
because. And I wouldn't look. I didn't hate Fuente, but I didn't like.
Fuente was a real football coach,
and that look. See, and that's what I think people need to get a key on.
Yeah.
I know there was some criticism of us criticizing Norvell in that video, which I don't regret the video. But all that being said, I'm not talking about either of them as people or their families or nothing like that.
No, we're not.
We're talking about football. And what I have always felt, Bob's been consistent with this too.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk about Norvell versus Fuente, I always felt Fuente was the better football coach.
Absolutely.
Now, Norvell was great at being a front man for the university. He was a great recruiter and a great personality.
Yeah.
Now, he had a fun team that scored a lot of points, had terrible defenses, but was extremely exciting all the time.
Yeah.
And that gave Memphis a lot more of attention, a lot more fans, a lot more money. So he did his job. But in that aspect, but look, here's the thing. He never won a bowl game. And I think in a lot of situations, which I said then and I'll say now, I think Norvell is getting exposed because he's in a different place now.
Right.
And here, even there were some things that people didn't notice because they were winning so much.
Yeah.
Late game situations. The Tigers blew out a lot of people when he was there. They had a lot of blowouts. But then when there were close games with Norvell, there was a lot of mismanagement in games that they should have won.
Games that they should have won that he could not really coach them to victory in.
That's all I'm saying.
He couldn't push them over the hill.
But he got us a lot of talent, and that's why they won the way they did.
Well, the way they did, I mean, they were easy
he was a
games.
good recruiter, yeah.
I mean, they were good games that they could, supposed to win. When it came down to tight games, he could just not coach them to victory. And but like you said, it just told on him when he went to play at Florida State and then those other teams, and then to lose to Norvell, to lose to a team that he did today. I mean that's that's the straw that broke the camel's back.
Oh yeah, the back was already hurting.
It was already hurting. It was broke anyway, but he still tried to ride it. I think he's out of there.
And real quick,
I think he's gonna, just give in and just leave.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
They're 3-1.
Okay.
So we'll just throw that out there. Now I know they beat Richmond, the Richmond Spiders.
That's Coach Norvell. I mean, not Norvell.
Fuente.
Mm-hmm. They're 3-1 now.
Yeah, they're 3-1.
Okay, just got a update on the Tennessee Volunteers game. It is 24-14. Florida Gators are leading Tennessee 24-14, and in that game right now. So
why does that always happen to Tennessee? I'm gonna tell you, even in games that you get excited for them, right? So the Vols are back, and then they're not.
Well, I mean, the Vols, the Tennessee Volunteers, they ring a bell across the country.
Yeah, so did Florida State.
Their name.
So did Florida State.
Yeah,
but look at them.
Yeah, they're both.
The bell ain't ringing no more.
It ain't ringing anymore. Yeah, Tennessee, good football program.
Used to be.
Well,
And look, I grew up a Vol guy, and you know this because I was you're my father. So
they accepted this coach that they have. I think it was more of an acceptance rather than finding the right person.
I don't know about that, but I hope he can do something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're probably right though. I mean, because they don't have the selection of people that they used to.
Right.
That want the Tennessee job. Everybody used to want the job.
Yeah.
Now people are like, I don't know. It's kind of snake bitten. So
yeah.
But as you can see, I got the score on the screen now.
Yeah.
It's 24-14.
Yeah.
It's in the third quarter.
Yeah. This is not going to look too good for Tennessee. And then, most people didn't expect Tennessee to win this game anyway.
No.
So they started out 14, 14-10. And then Florida just kept creeping on up. And now they're leading 24-14 over Tennessee in the third quarter.
Meanwhile, Alabama after 2 quarters is up 42-7.
I mean, come on.
Southern Miss.
I mean,
21 points in each
What
quarter.
else can you expect out of Alabama?
As Alabama fan Bob here.
Thank you. Yes, I am an Alabama fan. And then Memphis is second, and Tennessee is third.
There you go. Okay. So there's the hierarchy piece.
Yeah.
Halftime.
But I'm a Memphis Tiger fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm Alabama. I've been an Alabama fan for a long time.
There you go. The Crimson Tide.
42-7.
West Virginia is up on the 4th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners, 10-7.
Wow.
At halftime. So watch out for that.
Or what?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
even though Virginia Tech is West Virginia, that is good. Ohio State trying to get back on track after losing last week.
Alcorn.
38-7 at halftime on Alcorn.
Well, they should be winning that.
Yeah, they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
North Carolina and Georgia Tech is up 13-7.
Georgia Tech is in this game anyway, is back in it.
Yeah, they're trying to. They won 1 game this year. They're trying to sneak up on North Carolina there. That game's also at halftime. And there you see some of the scores I read earlier. Penn State.
Georgia 62-0.
Yeah.
Come on. Vanderbilt, come on. What are they going to do about the program in Nashville? Vanderbilt used to be a major program. It still is, but what do they need to do to revive that program at Vanderbilt in Nashville?
I'm going to tell you something. Vanderbilt at this point, they're only major in name only.
Yeah.
They ain't been major in a long, long time. Last time I can even say is back when they had, you remember the black head coach, James Franklin, who is now at Penn State doing great. But when he came, he kind of brought life to Nashville and Vanderbilt. But even then, they didn't go any better than 7-4, 8-5, something like that. They, you can only do so good at Vanderbilt, and you know what's holding them back. And a lot of people said this may sound crazy. Their academic requirements. You got to be so smart to go there that the good athletes ain't smart enough to get into school. So
wait. So everybody that going to the other school, going to Tennessee and Memphis, they're dummies. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, they get a lot of help.
They're not as smart. That's what he's trying to say. I mean, at Vanderbilt, you have to be a professor,
basically,
in order to get it. But the
GPA requirements is way high,
way up in Vanderbilt, and
them good athletes ain't got time for school.
There was at one point to talk about getting rid of the football program.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll happen. Just because
I don't think that's a good idea.
They make so much money just from being in the SEC.
Yeah,
like they only have to do nothing, just be there. But that's why a lot of people said trade Vanderbilt for Memphis, get Memphis in there. But you never know. Greg says Norvell gets fired, interim coach the rest of the year. And he says Deion Sanders gets hired next year for Florida State.
Oh, you know what?
You don't think he'll leave Jackson State, do you?
Jackson, Mississippi. I don't know. I mean, I think he would.
Beautiful Jackson, Mississippi.
Why do you think you see? Why do some of you remember that commercial with the Alabama coach? What's his Nick Saban? Nick Saban.
Yeah.
And
it's the Geico commercial.
Yeah, and then
Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget his name. But Deion Sanders and Nick Saban in a commercial, a Geico commercial. Did you remember seeing that?
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something. There's a reason why they put Deion Sanders with the best. There's a reason why they put him with the best in the SEC to do that commercial. There's a reason. There's a setup going on. And he's trying to get his name, Deion Sanders.
He's trying to help him get out of it?
Coach Saban is trying to help him get the job at Florida State.
I don't know about that now. Lord, what a conspiracy theory. But
look, okay. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you.
You ain't the only one that thinks he might get that job, though.
Deion may get that job. Deion Sanders may get that job.
That's his school.
At Florida State, and I don't believe he'll turn it down. I think he's probably looking into it. I don't think he's, But
look, think about this. And Vincent just put it down what I was thinking, literally. He says, I hope Deion doesn't leave Jackson State. That would undo the effects to help HBCUs. And that's what I'm saying. I think Deion is really committed. As you can see what he's doing. He seems really committed to the fact of helping.
Let me tell you something.
Jackson State
I think Deion Sanders is committed to HBCUs, but I don't think he's committed enough to turn down a job at Florida State. And I don't think and I don't think we should criticize him if he do decide to take the job at Florida State. Hey, everybody has an opportunity that comes available, and you can't knock him because he did take the job at HBCU, one of the HBCU colleges at Jackson State. He did come and participate and take the job.
But it takes more than just a year.
And you can't knock him if he decides to leave. That's his choice. But he did recognize the fact and did come to try to help and participate in HBCU.
So basically it's like this.
School, yeah.
Basically it's like this. All right, black folks, he came to help y'all. He tried to help.
No.
And now he gonna go back over here and do what he did.
Yeah, he can't stay there forever. Nobody stays at one place forever.
1 year.
1 year. But
even Norvell stayed in Memphis longer than that. You know what I'm saying? Before he took off.
Norvell, which he had stayed a little longer now.
No, I bet he dreams about what he had in Memphis.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of those things. Some of these other coaches need to think about. But anyway, Stanley says, nope, he won't leave there. Too much money down there now.
Okay, all right.
You think so? Compared to Florida State?
Florida State, I think Florida State will open their purse for Deion.
Yeah, they need to. And
they will.
Deion will demand it.
Deion will demand it, and they will open their purse. I don't think you have to demand it too much. I think they want to change, and I think by having someone like Deion Sanders with a name to come to Florida State, they know that what they've been going through this year, it will rebound tremendously having that name at Florida State, and people will come out and fill the stadium in anticipation to a great season without even seeing the first game.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Now, Vincent says he won't leave his quarterback son at Jackson State. I think he got two sons at Jackson State.
Yeah.
Even though I think they will find a way to transfer.
They'll find a way to
Florida State. But
if he has to hide them and put them in the trunk and take him with them, he's going to take them. Yeah. But
I remember his son played really well in the Heritage Classic.
He did. He did.
Tennessee State. Yeah,
he did very well
at quarterback.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I almost hope he doesn't leave. I understand it would be cool to see him at Florida State.
Yeah,
big college. He was coached by Bobby Bowden, who
was the what?
Oh, Florida State.
Florida State head coach.
He was at Florida State and played under him. So
yeah,
who just passed, and a lot of people. I think that's some of the reason why people are so upset also at Norvell, because of the emotions of Bobby Bowden's passing.
Yeah,
kind of going into this season, and then to disappoint like that.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to put that type of pressure on Norvell, but that's just kind of the way it is with fans and people.
Yeah, they hadn't got over it. They hadn't got over it.
No, and they shouldn't. That's just a great man.
Yeah.
And I could see why they would want Deion, who played for Bobby Bowden, and one of his best players to ever play there. So you never know, man. So we'll see what happens in the future. So
Greg says, well, with the transfer rules, the way that they are. He won't have to leave his son. No.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, he could get the transfer portal and get on out of there.
Yeah.
Vincent says Florida State president offered a vote of confidence in Mike Norvell. So I guess they put out a statement. You know what? A lot of people call that the kiss of death. Usually, when that happens, that means you're on the hot seat.
Yeah.
That even though the president is almost like when the general manager or president of a team or a school, when they come out, when you're stinking up the joint so bad that they got to come out and act like they support you.
But see,
so hear me out. At that point, you're putting pressure on the president of the university, saying, "Hey, now it's on me. I'm putting my support in you. So basically, you only got a short amount of time before you're out of here." And Greg just said it. That usually means he's about to get fired.
He's about to get fired. Well, I mean, before all of this takes place, the main guy wants to say something nice and try to clear the air. And then say, "Oh, he said something nice," so they appreciated him, and then all of a sudden they find out, okay, he's not there anymore. This is something that normally happens, folks. And really, this is right before the door closes.
The calm before the storm.
The calm before the storm for Norvell.
Now, Bob, do you see the score there? It's probably going to come up in a second for you.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. Florida has gone ahead of Tennessee now even more, 31-14. Sergeant Chris Richardson, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's
suffering right now. He's probably grabbing his 6th can of Pepsi.
Yeah.
Sugar-free, that is.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol.
Yeah, right. Man, I'm sorry. Tennessee is getting trampled on in the swamp down in Gainesville, Florida right now, 31-14. John, this is over.
Yeah, it's disgraceful.
I mean, they should call this game. Throw out the white towel. Throw in the towel.
Look, how has this changed so quickly? When we started the show, we were talking about, is Tennessee about to turn it around? And now toward the end of the show, it's all over.
It's all over. Yeah. I mean, wow. Okay. But before we go, look, Tennessee Volunteers, right? Let's hit it for them real quick, Josh. Find something, find their thing, and let's. We're not against the Volunteers. I love the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah, I used to.
All the football, basketball, their program. I've always been a follower of Tennessee Volunteer sports.
I grew up on Philip Fulmer, man.
Philip Fulmer, always, man. And, it's a great program at Tennessee.
You came up on the other coach.
Yeah.
Johnny Majors.
Johnny Majors. Yeah, I remember Johnny Majors was there back in the day. And, so, hey, let's hit it, Josh, if you got it. Let's hit it for Tennessee today, even though they're losing badly right now. Let's bring them some support. Wait, what?
Hold on.
What's that? Wait a minute. Is that Chris?
Oh, Lord.
This is Sergeant Chris. Who is this?
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson.
Oh, okay. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Yeah. That's okay.
It's sad, man.
Oh, man. But it's still 31-14.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't mean to say the score again. Oh, gosh.
It's sad to see a grown man cry.
Oh, gosh. But anyway,
he sounds
31-14 right now. Tennessee is getting beat by Florida Gators. And
hold on. Greg, come on. Greg says if Deion leaves Jackson State for Florida State, it won't be for the money because he does have enough money.
No, it won't be for the money.
He says it will be for prestige.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that he is an attention streetwalker. Oh, man, an attention whore. That's what you're trying to say. Oh,
see there. I'm not gonna go there, Greg. I'm not going there.
not prime time Dion, man.
Oh Lord, no, not Dion.
Call him coach.
But I do believe though Dion would walk into it because hey, it's an opportunity. It's a big opportunity for him if it comes his way, and and I think he should. I wouldn't have anything against Dion for that walking into it. But the Tennessee Volunteers are losing 31-14, and Josh, we've got to honor them right now.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah. Let's see.
Come on. Let's play their thing, and I'm not against the Tennessee Volunteers.
I believe you.
I hope. Yeah, there we go.
Didn't Rocky Talk
Rocky Talk?
Yeah, a great song.
Yeah, I forgot the song how it goes. Oh, sweet home to me, good old Rocky Top. Wow. Okay, and all of that you just heard, they're losing 31-14.
Oh man,
Sergeant Chris Richardson, he had the nerve to say, "I jinxed him." He said it earlier today. He said, "Don't jinx him." Then he just texted me a few minutes ago, "You jinxed him."
Oh, poor guy.
What Greg say?
He said, "Oh yeah, Bob, you're going there." He said, "You went there. Your luggage is checked in the bin."
Oh,
you went there so far. Yeah.
Oh wow! But anyway, we're available to take one more phone call. 901-213-6020. What do you think about Memphis today? 31-28. They lose today to Texas San Antonio. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. Texas San Antonio.
I've never heard of them today.
The Roadrunners.
The Roadrunners.
Yeah.
Texas San Antonio. I'm serious. I've never heard of them to this game.
Yeah, most people
never heard of them.
Yeah.
But this game, they came in 3-0, but some people say the Tigers should have never lost this game.
Mm-hmm.
When they went up 21-0 in the first quarter, they should have kept their foot on their neck, but they let up.
Oh, well,
they let up. They took it for granted.
I missed Stanley's comment earlier. He said he's going to Mississippi Valley State on the 13th of October to watch Jackson State. Okay.
Oh, he is.
Cool.
Okay, Stanley, good for you. Well, why is he going there?
He wants to watch Coach Prime, Deion Sanders.
Is that, or is he wanting to watch Mississippi Valley?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I don't know about that.
Stanley, do you have anything going on at Mississippi Valley, or relatives play there, or something, or?
Maybe that's the closest game. Go down there instead of Jackson.
Yeah. I mean, he may have someone that he knows that's playing there at Mississippi Valley. And go cheer him on.
Yeah.
But Deion's good. If it gets offered to him at Florida State, he's going. No question about it. He's going. He is going. You can forget it. You can forget it. Deion is going to Florida State if he's offered the position.
So it's straight up a done deal.
It's a done deal. It's a done deal. If he's offered the job, he's going. Okay. Stanley says nope. Just to close this game.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, we appreciate you. And we appreciate you guys tonight. Josh, quickly tomorrow, Tennessee
the Titans.
Tighten up, y'all. The Tennessee Titans play the Indianapolis Colts tomorrow in NFL play. You got that ready to go?
Oh, I mean, what, for the one game?
Yeah, I mean, come on. We got maybe hits a couple other things too. Monday night, and then whatever. All right, and then maybe somebody want to call in and talk about the NFL and and their team, which will lose tomorrow, or maybe win. Let's hit it real quick before we leave a few minutes. let's hit the NFL. And again, welcome back to the NFL segment of our show today. Big games on tap for tomorrow. You know, Sunday's a big day when it comes to the National Football League. And we've got a big Monday night game coming up as well. And, of course, the big game for the state of Tennessee tomorrow. We'll talk about that and give a few games that are on tap for tomorrow as well. You can call in 901-213-6020 if you think your team is going to win. And, you know, somebody's saying, yes, sir, go Colts.
Yeah, see.
The nerve of you.
It's
the nerve. The nerve.
Come on,
for
Kelly.
You to do something. Let's go, NFL. All right, it is NFL time. Tomorrow, Josh, we've got the Tennessee Titans. Tighten up, folks. Tennessee Titans will take on the Indianapolis Colts. What time is that game, and where is it supposed to be seen if people are not going to the game?
Well, they're on the list with several games. It's in Tennessee, Nissan Stadium, aka Titans Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee at 12 o'clock Central Time. Straight up, Indianapolis will be in Tennessee to take it on. And to get it on, those are the two top teams, or projected to be the two top teams in the AFC South. Indianapolis, to me, is the only other team in that division that has a good enough roster to keep up with what the Titans have. Now, to be fair, and to be fair to Kelly, who's a fan of the show, and other Colts fans I know, Indianapolis has a really good defense. They have a good young running back. They have some good young receivers, good young team, talent, offensive line, even though they've had a couple of injuries. But they still don't have a quarterback, which is the most important position on the field.
Yeah.
And Carson Wentz, I still hadn't heard a determination on his status for the game. Carson Wentz is, of course, their quarterback that they just signed coming into this season. Carson Wentz was once an MVP candidate going back to 2017, had some injuries with the Philadelphia Eagles that kept him, some people feel, from performing to the best of his abilities. Now, his former offensive coordinator is coaching Indianapolis, and they signed Carson Wentz to try to revive his career. So the thing is, will he be able to do so? To me, and the reason why I know so much about this, because this story has gotten on my nerves for 3 years. Carson Wentz has been the most overhyped, over-talked about, pathetic excuse of a quarterback I have seen in a long, long time. Taking up all this time on national TV, First Take, Undisputed, ESPN, Fox Sports, NBC, whatever. Everybody's talking about, will Carson Wentz be this? Can he win a
TalkBackLive
Super Bowl?
Sports and everything.
Yeah, all of that. All of that. But, you know, all of that. So what I'm saying is, everybody said, will Carson Wentz be this? Will he be that? Can he win a Super Bowl? Can the Colts win a Super Bowl? To me, in no way, shape, or form, even if he was okay, is he a quarterback capable of doing what they think he can? I just don't see it. I didn't believe in him then. I don't believe in him now. I think he's overhyped. I don't like his attitude. He's injury prone. I think he's overrated. Always has been, always will be. Now, we'll see what happens this weekend, tomorrow. But he's got 2 sprained ankles. How you sprain both ankles? And if you do that, how you going to get better? You can't walk. You know, I don't know what's going on. They talk about game time decision, whatever they're going to say. He ain't playing. Don't give me that. You think he's going to go out there with 2 bad ankles and try to play against a Titans defense going to be coming after him?
Well, maybe he's all they have, John.
They got somebody else, but it's going to be worse. So we'll see, man. But I'm looking forward to the game.
Robert Lee is making a statement to you there.
Oh, Robert Lee. Let me see. Would
be the last year, he said.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. Robert Lee says this will be the last year that we see Wentz at quarterback if he doesn't do anything this. I agree. I actually agree. You know, I think that's it. Oh man, look, hold on. So I just said this, right? I'm talking bad about the Colts quarterback.
Yeah.
And Colts fan Kelly is agreeing with me. He's saying facts. I can't believe it. You're agreeing with all this bad stuff I said about your quarterback. So you don't even like your own quarterback, Kelly. Well, I'm glad that I agree. He said QB is garbage can juice.
Yeah, that's what he said. I mean, but hey, if your team is or player or someone on your team is like that, hey, give the fact, tell the truth.
Tell the truth, man.
I mean, you know, don't keep up with somebody you know is not 100%.
What they say, tell the truth and what?
Yeah, shame the devil.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, you know, this guy, if he's not the guy that you feel that is making or can make the team, and you know, no sense in just hyping this guy up and you know and all that. You know, hey, tell the truth, get rid of it.
Yeah,
what they need to do with him. You know, maybe he's got a hook in somebody's mouth over there or something. I don't know.
I hope not.
You know,
he knows the coach really well, so you never know. But I'll say this. You know, we would have this come in. Frankie says Cowboys all day, every day.
No, that's not true, Frankie.
No,
that's not true, Frankie.
It's not possible.
Good evening, Frankie. It's good to see you on and hear you on our show
today.
But we're not going to agree on Cowboys all day, every day. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, we can't.
You know, that's totally ridiculous. Okay, she's going to get me.
Yeah, even stronger.
But what is it about Cowboy fans? I don't know. Have they lost their mind? I mean, they just can nobody else play football but the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, people don't even live in Texas. You know, don't even live in Texas, nowhere close to Texas, rooting for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Some people never been to Dallas.
Never.
Rooting for the Dallas Cowboys.
It's unbelievable.
You know,
everywhere you go, look, when it's Friday or Saturday or even Sunday, Cowboys jerseys everywhere.
Everywhere.
What is wrong with y'all? Y'all born and raised in Memphis.
I mean, you know, they're all over the country. Cowboy materials here. Cowboy jerseys there. Cowboy socks over here. You know, maybe one of these days we'll collect all this junk and burn it. Cowboy stuff. You know.
I'll throw out the answer to that question by saying they could win a playoff game.
Okay.
When I say I have nothing against the Cowboys, it's their fans I absolutely despise.
Oh.
I can't stand these people. They make me sick.
Oh, come on.
Nothing worse than a Cowboy fan.
Oh.
Absolutely, positively nothing. Let's put this in its proper perspective. They are 3-7 as of yesterday, last night.
Well, that's last year. But yes,
Their
last year.
Win was October 11th. They went 1 month and 11 days without winning a damn game.
Yeah,
They had a 2-7 record walking into yesterday. They have the worst defense in football. Their 2-7 record only has them relevant because they are playing in the worst division in the history of the National Football League.
It makes perfect sense.
Well, he was talking about last year.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, he's saying, how can people get behind something like that and knowing where they are and what they're doing, absolutely nothing, and still support it?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, what have they got over you? I mean, do the Cowboys mail you out some cloth or something with the stinking sock smell on it or something that make you turn into a Cowboy fan and you can't do without it?
You know
do they say smell the sock once a day or something? What is it? I mean,
look. I can say this. I can see Jerry Jones. If you heard Jerry Jones talk, I can see him trying to be one of those televangelists saying, if you just call right now, I'll send you a handkerchief. A handkerchief with the cowboy star on it.
Yeah, and we wiped that handkerchief between our cowboy players. Every one of them after the game wiped it between their toes.
Okay, toes. Okay, I didn't know where you were going with this.
Oh, no,
toilet paper.
No, I wouldn't go in there.
Okay. What? But they might buy that too. I don't know. But
anyway.
Hey, Kelly says
they won't have to buy it. He'll send it free.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but anyway.
Bradell says we don't live in Nashville either. Oh, he's taking a shot.
We're closer than Dallas.
We're in the same state.
We're in the same state.
We're in the same state.
We're for the Tennessee Titans because it says Tennessee.
Yeah.
And but you know, hey, I mean, you be who you for, who you want to be for.
Frankie says we are devoted and dedicated.
I know that, right? I know that. You don't have to tell me that.
She said I've been a Cowboys fan since 1972.
Wow, Frankie.
Now they were good back then.
Yeah, I can see why. Cause see, back then I hated them then. Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I hated them then because they were a rivalry against my team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I used to watch them every year, the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and how Pittsburgh would beat them up. I remember the Franco Harrises and what's the Roger Staubach.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that's the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Roger Staubach for the Cowboys and
Bradshaw,
Tony Dorset.
Insulting the old great man.
Yeah.
Y'all had Bradshaw, two great quarterbacks.
Somebody said, Burdell said Stephen A is trash anyway. God, Burdell. But Stephen A laid it down. He said he hate the Cowboy fans.
Yeah.
Come on, Stephen A. Come on now. Don't hate the fans. But I do wonder what's wrong with it. But you hate the Cowboys, but don't hate the fans. We don't hate the fans.
Well, he says he don't actually hate the team. He hates the fans.
Yeah. But, wow, that's deep. Frankie says what? Stephen A?
Is an undercover fan. Because he talks about them too much.
Oh, is that right? Okay. No. Is that why he hates the fans? Come on. I don't know about that, Frankie.
He said he came up a Steelers fan, so
yeah, like me. Yeah, I've been a Steelers fan for years until the Tennessee Titans came, and I'm still a Steelers fan. And they play tomorrow, right? The Steelers play tomorrow.
Yes. Matter of fact, let me see if I can.
Let's find out what time they play.
They play at 12 also. In Pittsburgh, they take on the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Cincinnati Bengals, and that usually sometimes can be a rival.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Them and Cleveland when they play Cleveland,
right? Yeah, in the same neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll see tomorrow as Pittsburgh beat Cincinnati, and Tennessee Titans will beat Indianapolis. Whether they want Tennessee to or not, that's who I'm rooting for. But at any rate, hey, it has been a Monday night, the Dallas Cowboys. That's that Monday night game?
Yes, against the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, that's a rivalry also.
You know what? They had to put that game on a Monday night, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They needed some company on Monday night. And is that ABC?
ESPN.
ESPN
Used to be on ABC.
Yeah, ABC, yeah. ESPN, I'm sorry, folks. Yeah.
I absolutely despise.
Yeah, well. Yeah, ESPN and Monday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys are going to play. I think what ESPN did, they figured, okay, Dallas Cowboys and all those fans, they would get numbers, ratings.
Oh, look, that's the only reason why.
That's the only reason
the Cowboys keep getting national TV games.
That's it. Because of the fans.
Yeah.
Not because they're America's team and the media just can't do without them. Mm-mm. It's only because of the fans and they just want the ratings from the fans, not the Cowboy team.
Now, I'm gonna ask this quick question. Now, y'all can still answer even as we leave.
Yeah.
Which game are you guys most looking forward to this week?
Which game?
I'm looking at the list of games. You got Kansas City at the Los Angeles. Well, you got the Los Angeles Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
You got New Orleans Saints at the New England Patriots. Atlanta at the New York Giants. Arizona at Jacksonville, which is falling apart already. Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You got the Jets at the Denver Broncos. The Dolphins at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Los Angeles Rams, which is a big game there. Seattle at Minnesota. Green Bay at San Francisco. Big Sunday night game. The nightcap for Sunday. And then Philly at Dallas. Jalen Hurts versus Dak Prescott.
Yeah, that ought to be a good one as far as quarterback-wise. But, well, we shall see.
Yeah.
All right, and we shall see and we shall not see anymore because we're getting ready to get out of here. Burdell says Tampa Bay versus LA. Yeah.
Okay, that's the game. It's most of
Eagles,
that's a big
Cowboys.
game.
Yeah, Frankie, boy, she just keep talking about those Cowboys. Oh, I mean, I thought she would bring up another team that's under somebody's playing. But anyway, Frankie, all of you that joined in today, we want to appreciate you joining us for the show.
Also, real quick, several of y'all are watching. If you can, some of you've already done it. Hit the like button. All of y'all that are watching right now, do not forget. Go ahead right now. Drop everything you're doing. Hit that unless you're driving.
Yeah, don't
drop that.
Don't
Yeah,
don't do that at all.
Yeah, because we want to respect Sergeant Chris Richardson and what he has to say about that.
We don't want him to.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson of the Tennessee Highway Patrol here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019.
Well, that's not new.
In Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver to hold a cell phone or a mobile device with any part of their body.
Yeah, so
that's a short end.
So don't let Sergeant Chris Richardson stop you out there tonight.
No.
Well, no, he won't be stopping you. He's stuck on the Tennessee Volunteers game, where they were losing last time we heard 31-14.
Let me give a last update. It's 9:30 left in the game.
Okay, Tennessee and Florida Gators. It's 9 minutes and what?
30 seconds.
30 seconds left in the game. And what is the update?
The update is, let's see on the screen right now, and it is Florida 31, Tennessee 14. So the score hasn't changed.
The score hasn't changed.
Yeah,
so Florida has put a beat down on Tennessee, and they're trying to relax and say we don't want to beat them too bad. And Florida and Tennessee can't score.
Tennessee has 1st and 10 at the Florida 48-yard line. So we'll see what happens.
So we'll see what happens, folks. All right, that's going to do it for us today. And thanks for joining us and all your phone calls, conversation, and your information you passed along to us. And we will see you next time. And go Tigers, go. Hey, they played a good game today, but not good enough. And they lost to a team that they shouldn't have lost to.
Yes, sir.
But hey, that's under the bridge now. We have to prepare for another game next week. And speaking of that, we will see you next time. And we'll talk to you again when we're back on. And y'all have a wonderful evening tonight.